Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello. Or shall I say, here we go. Here we go. Sia Taro Baratok.
Oh,
In
we're
fact, that
learning
will go.
Hungarian now, people. We're multilingual languageal.
Overachiever once again.
I realize that we should have been fashionably by 10 minutes at least. I missed the opportunity there. So yeah. But hello and welcome, and thank you if you're watching the replay as well. We greatly appreciate you.
Yep.
And just a heads up, there might be a storm around here, and so if the stream suddenly cuts off and we disappear, then see you in the next one. Thank you so much
I'll
for coming.
keep going if that's the case. I'll just sit here for the next hour till you come back on again. It's fine.
I mean, I wish I could say that you can carry on alone, but since I'm hosting, you're disappearing with me. But yeah, hello Scott and Gerald. How are you? Over to you. I mean, immediately, like we just
Already.
started. We just started. Hello, hi Diane.
Hi, Deanne.
Phone is annoying me.
Hello,
So.
Jared. Hello, Scott.
How is everyone? I can't speak. How is everyone?
I'll do that bit for you. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna just show off my rooms, and you can talk to people. It's not focusing for some reason because it likes to focus on my face. So I'm gonna put it here.
I think you should keep it there.
Yeah.
Do you know? I just realised I did a rune face. You got your rune out, and I kind of went.
Oh, it's a rune face. You have a rune face.
I know. I didn't realise I did that.
I mean, I have one that matches my tattoo.
Oh, show us your tattoo. Let's have a closer look. Come on, let's have a look. Oh, that's nice. Ooh, I like I'm trying to look around your hands there.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, where is the camera? Yeah, I didn't know anything pretty much about runes when I picked the tattoo, but I went with the most common meanings, and I wanted all the positive things on my hand. So, and then a few years later, I was like, hey, I'm doing runes. Like, interesting. So
I really want to get another tattoo, and I
just one. Good for you. I mean, I want 100.
And I don't quite know what I want, and so I'm not one of these people to just go and put it on and hope that it's something I grow into. I've got to think about it. But I have been thinking about sigils and runes, but where it goes, I don't know. So if anyone fancies doing a bit of a design, then let me know. That'd be cool.
I mean, I can do something. I if you want to. I like doing that.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm not saying you're gonna love it. And I would say in the inside of your forearm, I think that's where a sigil related one is a good one.
I'll think about it.
I mean, we can talk. We can talk.
We can.
I mean, I saw. Who was that? I think I just watched it today. It was Zane. Was it Zane who posted rune? Let me check. Someone posted not rune, sigil making videos.
Oh yes, yeah. I think it was Zane.
Was it Zane?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch my history because this was not something that I thought. Yes, tarot token obituary, sigil crafting, and I really like that idea where he wrote down a sentence, just put the whatever letters and then combine them into a sigil.
I'd end up writing something silly though. I just know I would end up with. It would just be a mess. I wouldn't. Yeah, it's got to be serious.
I can do something like it. I design it in a way.
Yeah,
they are connected.
We'll discuss further.
Yes. Okay. Who's? Oh, hi, Debbie. Hi. I don't know your name. Sorry. I know someone.
Yeah. Hi, Aspasia.
Aspasia, is it your name? I'm so sorry. And MA is here as well.
Hello.
Nice to see you. Who else? We got everything. Everybody. I'm sorry, I can't speak again. But you guys are getting used to that.
Pop in, pop out. I don't know. Absolutely.
Hi, Chris. And I'm wearing my NASA t-shirt, so just to represent space.
And I'm representing
Assassin's Creed, yeah.
assassins really across the world. So particularly,
I wish I had a Witcher T-shirt then, but I don't have one. It would be so cool. Hi, Regina.
hello, Regina.
And Robin is here as well.
Mm-hmm.
All the lovely people. See,
Have you just
you're
seen
here
Gerald?
and all the lovely people show up. So I have to have you more often. So
Gerald said, do a live getting the tattoo.
that would be an interesting.
It would be interesting. I'm not.
And Antoinette is here as well. Yeah, I try to schedule my stuff ahead at least a few days. So, you can set a reminder and see what the time zone is, because we just discussed that we have no idea and we never have any idea. So
No idea. I'm going by what my stomach's telling me.
Yeah, let's go with that. I'm gonna make a note because my memory is not that.
I should start doing that because I'm.
Gerald suggested it in a live, and I'm doing that ever since.
Gerald's just going to type it all up and just email it to me. That would be easier. And email anyone. He'd do that. He's nice like that.
Okay, we have hi, Dancing Soul Sister. Do I have your name? I don't think so. So, oh yes, I do. Hannah. I have notes. Okay, so because we don't have all the time in the world, because Gerald is going live after me. How dare he? Not like I started doing that, So my idea with this live was when I watched the Ritchie's Terathon presentation, I was like, all the theatrical and all those elements in the Rider Waite twist. I was like, and I was thinking that this could be a good topic to get him on my channel. So I was like masterminding live. So
I don't need an excuse to talk about theatre.
Yeah, but I didn't know. We were not that close back then, 2 weeks ago.
True.
So our idea was pretty much to pull a few decks and cards that we think that might be overdoing the style or the design, but not in a bad way. We don't want to say any of the decks are bad or the illustration is bad. We just kind of went with the excuse to play with our collection with a bit, and you can mention decks that you think would fit in this category. I also found theatrical. Why is that so hard? Jax. Hi, Jax.
Hi, Jax.
Jax, I can't do that. Can't read the chat and talk at the same time on Etsy. So I can share that first because I'm going to forget doing that. Okay, let's see. I have this one here.
Is that the?
And this is called VTP tarot card deck based something. Oh, I don't know. I don't think it has a proper name, to be honest. But as you can see, it kind of goes with that circus and old style theater mixed style. So decks like this would fit in this category. So if you think about something in your collection and you have that, and we are not talking about it, and just throw in the name in there.
It's a lovely deck. We were talking about this earlier. There's some really nice cards in there that take themselves from, I think, theatre posters and stuff. And again, so it's very over the top.
Yeah, with the sun and 3 ladies dancing. Yeah. The can-can, I think that's how you say it in English as well.
The can-can, yeah.
Can-can, okay. Can-can in Hungarian,
Yeah, it's a nice deck. I would like it, but I don't like Victoriana kind of that essence. But I think that it would be. I love that death card. I think it's absolutely amazing. I suppose you'd have to balance. I like it more than and get it. I don't know. I'll think about it. But this deck keeps coming round into my circulations. If you know what
it's so interesting because this was my first time seeing it. So
All right.
Okay, so that was just, a quick. If you have something like that, you can add to the mix. But let's start because time is running out. No. So my most. Let's go, one at a time. I'm gonna start if you don't mind.
Okay, go for it.
So I was thinking that I'm gonna start with the funniest deck I have. If you haven't seen this, the Moon Tarot, I have a walkthrough and the flip through and everything. Oh, and it smells so nice. Honestly, it smells like not vanilla because I don't like vanilla, but something like that. And it's a plastic deck, so it's weird that it smells nice.
Oh, what's it smell of? Is it that lovely plastic?
I think it's vanilla.
Oh.
Kind of like ice cream, more vanilla ice cream than everything. So, so it's that deck that has a commentary on it, and for some reason my camera is refusing to focus, so you're not gonna be able to read it. But trust me, it's funny. I'm gonna look for a few cards that you can maybe see, even if I'm not. So, for example, the Two of Swords is says above her head. You guys still there? You know.
Is that a quadrant?
Yes, it's a cross on. I'm guessing it's about like crescent moon or something like that. And the Three of Swords has two labels on it. I hate mom is the upright, and I love mom is the reverse meaning. Like the old tattoo. But I want to show the Emperor because that's my. I mean, we have the Ace of Crybabies.
I love the titles on it.
Yes, Natalie Meraki. She's the creator, and she's the creator. I mean, I listed her website in my walkthroughs. Yeah, Nine of Cups. Turned down for what? I mean, Eight of Swords. Ace of Swords. It's all fun and sex games until you have to pee.
I like the way they've got that. It's quite refreshing, isn't it? I can imagine.
I mean, she created this deck to not take yourself seriously. I mean, the Emperor is daddy. Respect my authority in sunglasses. So, I mean, this deck is like I think it's brilliant. So, even though I don't use it as much, but I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna use it for Halloween for sure.
Halloween.
I did a what the fuck spread with this deck, and it was fun, but at the same time really, really meaningful. So it's a tarot deck. You cannot not get a message from it.
You know what it reminds me of? It's one of those decks, and this has never happened to me, so I don't know if it would actually be, that you could, if you're going abroad on holiday, to take with you. I think it's got that kind of light holiday vibe.
I was thinking this would be the one that I would take to my friends, and
or if you're having a get together with friends or something like that. Yeah.
Especially if you start drinking.
I think that's obligatory, isn't it? Isn't that obligatory?
I think so. I mean, with a deck like that.
I'm just lighting up some more incense. That's why I keep.
We're missing something.
Oh, are they starting?
Sorry.
Beth's asking what the cardstock's like on that deck.
It's plastic.
Oh.
So it's very, very heavy. But as the advertisement says, you can throw spaghetti on it. So.
Hi, Dancing Soul Sister. I am from the UK. Yes. Pleased to meet you. Thanks.
I don't think it's emoji. I think it's the crest. I mean, I was interpreting it as the crescent moon. Croissant, crescent moon.
Oh yeah, there is one in that one, isn't there? Yeah. I have to say, the Two of Swords is the one of the cards I kind of I always go a bit skipping over quite far. It doesn't always butter my muffin, the Two of Swords. So it's one of those. It's kind of like, oh, can we just get on with the other ones? So I have to spend quite a lot of time with the Two of Swords.
That's so interesting. Because I did my Why Do I Hate You spread with the Rider-Waite Smith for the deck. And the first reason was the Two of Swords. So,
I think it's because I've never really grasped the meaning behind it all. Until recently.
How do you read the Two of Swords?
I've read so many different things that are not necessarily contradictory, but talk about pathways or choices, or then not making it, or being, right. But I read something the other day on Facebook. Somebody posted, which I really love, and I'm going to adopt it now. And that is that even an indecision is a decision, and I like that for the Two of Swords.
Oh yeah, I think you mentioned it somewhere.
Yeah, I think I have. So I'm going to move my incense. It looks like I'm on fire now. So I'm just
yeah, with the Two of Swords, my favorite one is that you need to shut out all the other people, and you need to make the decision for yourself. And sometimes the two options can be two valid options.
Yeah.
It's not just one right and one wrong. It could be two right, but you have to make the decisions because other people don't have all the information that you have. So
yeah, I think it's because there are other cards in the deck that often speak of. So, for example, if it's choices, I always go Lovers. If it's balance or something like that, Justice, or perhaps Two of Pentacles, that kind of thing. So I've always found that there's another card. I'm not going to say better card, but there's always another card that does the job for what I was understanding the Two of Swords to be, which is why I've always haven't spent the time with it that I should have done.
I mean, because it's a minor, I just read it as a, it's not as significant of a decision as the Lovers would be. Yeah. Okay, your deck, because
I'm going for. I went and found the most theatrical deck that I could find, and as you can imagine, that's quite a challenge in my collection because, as you might have seen, I'm not a person that likes kind of unicorns and fluffiness. I tend to go for kind of pretty, not really unusual. Quite, I don't know. It's got quite a my feel to it. Sometimes it's a bit six-packy. Sometimes it's a bit, hotty totties. Sometimes it's just something that's based on historical. But occasionally I come across something, or I go through a phase where I might like a particular kind of card or stock. And I've gone for this one, which is the Golden Art Nouveau, for my most theatrical deck. And I've done walkthroughs of this. And the reason being is that it's firstly incredibly blingy. Look at that.
Yeah, it's full all over.
It is. I mean, it's just. Am I allowed to swear on here?
Yes, of course. I mean, fuck my life.
They spoiled the fuck out of this, haven't they? I mean, let's just look at it. It is beautiful. And the other reason is that the pictures, the illustrations, which are, as you can see, RWS.
Yeah. Like, oh, my leg hurts.
Yeah. Oh, poor me. Look, and I've got a dodgy eye.
But we love the deck, obviously.
Exactly. But it is, the characters in it are much bigger than they would appear on RW. Oh, look who's turned up.
Oh, look at that.
And actually, yeah, she's Goldie, but
in a way, yeah.
But
and
yeah,
her, I mean, her posture is that. Oh,
it's all very melodramatic. It's all
yes,
very,
that was the word that I was looking for.
Yeah. And I haven't properly used it. I actually really like the deck. I like the fact that some of the characters in there are kind of, they're quite ugly looking. I mean, for the nine of wands, he's not your usual kind of, he looks like, I mean,
like Seven of Swords, right?
Exactly. And I mean, this is the other one, the King of Pentacles. Look at his face. I mean, he's got cheekbones to die for, hasn't he? But I mean, that for me, the King of Wands is, King of Pentacles is that fatherly figure that you feel that you can turn to, and it's a very historical or ancestry kind of father figure. Not this guy. This guy looks like, I don't know. He looks like a kind of boss of a porn industry or something like that a little bit, isn't it? You know, just with a bit more
I
flow.
mean, that belt hangs quite suggestively if you think about it.
And I suppose the style, the Art Nouveau is, I mean, look at this one. I mean,
Yeah.
again, the way the neck and her head's twisted up. Even, you know, Queen of Swords. Again,
Ooh.
it's very theatrical. And I love it. And I love it for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad thing that, you know, what we're listing out, you know, being theatrical or over dramatic is not necessarily a bad thing.
I think the problem comes when you find it does work like that. The difficulty is to then not over drama. I can't say that.
You can't
Be over dramatic with your readings. So if you're particularly, you know, if that turns up with somebody, I'm always very careful of the Ten of Swords and the way it's interpreted, because but with something like this, you know, you could get really carried away if you weren't careful with it. So, but I do like it.
Yeah, I think I read it in Kitchen Table Tarot. That's where she mentioned the Ten of Swords as one of the, either you hit rock bottom, or you're like, are you sure that everything is over? And you're not just, you know, acting like everything is over, because sometimes we just we act like life is ending when it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Ten of Swords can be like that.
Also, I often go Ten of Swords sometimes, depending on the reading. About that one, and we're talking about the ending, and you know, a lot of people interpret this very much like the Tower, that kind of ending and a bit of a ghastly. But for me, you know, we don't know what the story of that person is. He might have been a dictator, or you know, somebody who was doing the people wrong. You know, there could be a very good reason why he's got 10 swords like Caesar stuck in his back and other areas. You know, and sometimes you have to think, well, why has he got 10 swords stuck in him? Somebody really didn't like him. Somebody really wanted
to be sure that he's dead.
And so to make sure he's dead, to make sure he's not going to come back, they're doing the job over the top. And so therefore there's that element of, okay, something has passed that was not particularly positive.
And it was meant to. And I always think about the swords, and you know, you start at the top of the hill and you slowly work your way down, and you had chances to turn back, but you made the mistakes, you chose the wrong things, and now you're at the bottom because that was your journey. You chose to end up there, and you know, you will need some time to recover and stuff like that, but something had to end.
I don't know about you ever noticed this, but this has just dawned on me. Perhaps it's me and my particular kind of circuit of card decks that I have. But the person in the Ten of Swords is never ugly. They're always a young, youthful kind of person. I know in the RWS original one, I think they've got the back to it. But I'm just looking at some of the other,
you're right, I think.
I've never seen a kind of elderly, you know.
Yeah, no, it's never an old person. At the end of their lives.
I mean, this is the other one that I'm going to pull out and talk about in a second. This is the Divine Diversity, but then, you know, again,
you
know, they're never sort of elderly. It's almost like youth has been cut down in its prime. Hello.
That's true. Overthinking as well, but I read the Ten of Swords as death, as literal death as well. So if someone would get the Tower and the Ten of Swords, I would be very worried. So, I mean, you have to have that card in the deck because that is part of life as well. So you can't always just look at that as transformation. Sometimes it's an actual ending of cycle.
Yeah.
And now with that, let's talk about zombies.
I love this deck.
And I was quite mad at this one because when I got it, it was from 2 different batches and the size wasn't the same, and I was going mad. And I tried contacting the publisher and they ignored me everywhere. and I was just pissed off because it's not like I wanted a new deck, even though I think I should have gotten one because I paid for a usable deck and it wasn't usable. But I was so ignored that I took off the Housewives Tarot from my wish list because I was like, I'm not buying anything from you ever again. Even though I might do that. Maybe next summer because it feels like a summer deck. And then I had to, I had to cut everything and re-edge and whatever, and I was just like, but ever since it is a really, really good deck, which I haven't used a lot, only in November.
It always is my autumnal deck going into Halloween, Samhain.
Yeah, it's my. I put this in my winter deck actually. For me, it feels more like. But we have someone like the Knight of Cups with surfing with a brain and wearing yellow, but whatever that's called, bathing pants, briefs, and. Yeah, the Queen of Cups, eating a brain on a sandy beach in a perfect pose and stuff like that. One of my favorite is the Chariot, having a gunfight with the casket wide open and zombies all around. So yeah, it has a lot of fun, but a bit over dramatic cards like Five of Cups. Crying in the cemetery, very prettily with a napkin because that's the only way you can cry. Because you have to stay pretty.
They are all taken from that 1940s and 50s and so on advertising, isn't it?
Exactly. And I love that.
I love the style it's done in. And again, what's the one? Is it the Page of Wands with a baby with a bone or a leg or something like that sitting in a high?
There's a lot like that when the baby's eating. Yeah.
I just think they got the tone of it just right, absolutely right with that deck. And I mean, when you think of what a zombie tarot deck could look like, you could go completely over the top with the artwork, but no, they've gone for that collage-y kind of.
Yeah, Queen of Swords with the gun, the grandma with the gun, like. Oh, and one of my favorites, the Seven of Wands with the lady kicking down someone so that she can get away. So yeah, it's a fun.
It's got the Emperor standing behind a door with like
the small
legs coming out. Yeah, brilliant.
So yeah, you have a new friend. So when I was thinking about decks, this was one of my obvious choices because. Yeah, for obvious reasons.
It's my turn again now, is it? Or did you want to look at some chat?
I'm looking at chat while you show yours.
Right. Well, I'm going for this one now. This is the Divine Diversity. Hang on, what's it called? The Divine Diversity. Now, this was a deck that I know has caused a lot of I can't talk today.
Sorry.
On controversy. It was the first deck that I backed on Kickstarter.
Ooh.
And I love Joe Phillips' artwork when I've seen it before. He's basically a graphic artist that's done an awful lot of graphic novels, but with a very gay theme in there. So he doesn't hold back with the 6-packs and stuff like that. And for me, coming in to tarot again at that point, it was quite nice that there were several different portrayals of things like the Lovers, so you can choose to have straight couple.
I like that when you have options.
Yeah, and it's the first step, and that's very rude, or you can have let's try and find them, so you can have the 2 males there. So
nice legs. I mean, I don't have nice legs.
But I know that this deck has caused certain outcry by calling itself diverse when it really isn't diverse. But having said that, this weekend I saw that Joe Phillips is republishing it with what looks like different artwork. So I'm hoping either they're going to change the title of it, or whether they keep the title and add some more artwork in to make it more diverse. I
That
think
would be cool.
that'd be brilliant. So I keep an eye out for that because there is a new version of it coming out. But let's have a look at some six packs
Yeah.
while we're here, shall we? So we've got the full, and again,
That's 8 packs. That's so much work. I could never.
it's a bit like me. That's a bit like me this morning. That was waking up.
I believe you. I mean, of
You
course.
know, and it is just gratuitous
Ooh.
Well,
I love the magician. I like his hair.
I kind of
That's not the
like
point, but I
my
like
hair
it.
like that. If you noticed, I'm growing my hair and
Oh.
I'm going to
My hair is just like, that's all. The most I can do is, leave it wet and go on to sleep and wake up as Son Goku. It happened one time. I walked in front of a mirror and started laughing because I was like, what the fuck is going on in my head? On my head. Oh, but she seems old though, even though in a very, very good form. But I like that for an empress.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, his artwork I really, really like, and I actually think this is based on his mother who passed away. I believe.
That's lovely.
So it's really nice to have it, and I really his backgrounds, his skies, and attention to detail I just love it. But I think that's possibly the only mature person that's in it. I'm going to skip on.
So I would pick an older person for a queen because I read the empress as the possibly pregnant person.
Let's have a look at some. Let's have a little look. Well, when it comes to the court cards again, he didn't, he didn't really hold back on what. He's got a very nice octopus tattoo. I like though.
That position for yours.
Yeah, because if I get that done, the 6-pack comes naturally with it, doesn't it?
Obviously, that's why I'm getting my tattoo on my arms. Oh, nice, clean.
Yeah. So
I mean, try to look into her eyes.
Yeah, exactly. She looks a little bit like Michelle Visage, actually.
Yes, you're right.
She's got that Michelle Visage. But I mean, just ignore. Look at what's happening. And then the King of Cups is just ridiculous man-spreading going on.
I mean, Nancy, you're young as well. I don't know what you're talking about. We're all young here. I don't see any old person except that Empress.
So it's.
Maybe Scott is buying this.
It's out of print at the moment. This one,
Oh, but maybe the new one. But I kind of like the idea that they will.
It's coming. It's massive. These cards are massive. Yeah. I mean, it's the biggest deck I own. That's my hand.
Oh.
And
it's Oracle size. Kind of look.
It is Oracle size. Yeah.
For me, that would be like
rectangular.
No.
And what a victory that man's having.
Oh, 6 of Wands. The 6
Are you sure there's just 6 there? That's the question, isn't it? But I mean, there are some really lovely decks, lovely cards in here. But the problem is, it's just, there's no body types really other than an 8-pack or a 6-pack or a,
And that 6 of Wands is like, you don't even have to look for that 6th Wands because
look at that for a theatrical Queen of Pentacles.
Yeah, she can be bothered.
Why are you passing me that?
Yeah.
Why are you disturbing me? So again, it's a deck that I used to use a hell of a lot. It's massive, so to do an actual proper spread on it, it's just. I mean, that's the size of the deck.
I mean, I couldn't even hold it. I don't think. I mean, I have small hands, so that's why I don't have the Witch's Wisdom Tarot, which I really want, because a lot of people said a lot of good thing about it, but it's Oracle size and I can't handle it. So I'm still waiting for it to come out as a smaller version, maybe.
Well, while we're picking on the 2 of Swords, I've just found that one. Actually, that's not a bad 2 of Swords. And I quite like the moon in the background. It's got face on it. Again,
and she stands in a way that her boobs got bigger.
She's doing that, pushing it in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So there we go. That's the Divine Diversity. Yeah, I think, as I say, keep an eye out on Joe Phillips's site. He's if you are interested in getting a new version of it, I don't know. I don't think he's released too much information about it, but I believe it's coming back out, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to be more diverse this time.
Yeah, maybe someone can gift it to Ritchie, and then he can do a walkthrough, side-by-side comparison.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. I'm definitely going to get the second one because I'm really interested to see what.
Oh, that would be cool. I mean, I like seeing all the new decks, even if I'm not interested in getting a deck. I like seeing evolution, so to speak. So my next one is not as much theatrical. It's the Dark Mansion, but I kind of wanted to take it up because it haven't been in my hands for so long, and I'm just like, I want it to. Even though it's it's all that fancy rose petal, and I actually really hate shuffling rose petal decks because it's hard. But and you're not gonna be able to see. But let's have the Ten of Swords.
Let's do the Ten of Swords.
A crying skeleton with 10 swords, because the skeleton can't even die, but he's all like, oh, I'm dead, blah, blah, blah. He can't die. So isn't it a bit too much? And I love the tower. I love this art style. It has that storybook, children's book illustration style, which I really like. If you have the deck, teeny tiny people are falling out of the tower. There are glasses and magnifying glass, and there's a black cat standing there, which you can't see because my camera is acting up.
Oh, there's so much detail in it.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I'm really sorry. I don't know why my camera. It should be an autofocus. So yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah.
But it's like all the things are falling. And I kind of like that. Oh, and that, he's like, he's like so bored with his job. Like, oh, do I have to go and kill people?
That is a lovely death card, actually.
I haven't worked with the deck, so I haven't figured out what I'm thinking about this deck, to be honest. How do you read this one?
I haven't used that one for ages either, but hold it up again. Let's have another look at it. He's very bored. Is he sitting on a...
Yeah. He's sitting on I think it's an actual tombstone, whatever, and there's fog. So it's not water, but fog.
It's fog, is it?
Yeah, I think it's fog.
I don't know.
So I kind of don't know what I'm thinking about a board deck. Maybe, it's like, I'm waiting for you to end this cycle for so long and you're still dragging it out, and I'm like sitting here ready to swoosh and just finish things, and you still haven't let it go. I mean, just, my personal experience with the death card.
I'm just trying to find the death card. Here we go. This is my favorite death card. I'm going back to Divine.
Sorry.
But this has to, and this is the one card I hope that Joe Phillips doesn't change. But that's the death card.
Ooh.
I mean, that is theatrical.
The little girl is so cute.
So you've got like a skeleton in this almost like Venetian costume, and he's doing the dance of death with this little girl.
And they are dancing. Oh, so cool. Yeah. It's lovely. Dancing with the death, not the devil, but death.
Bit different to your death in the Dark Mansion.
It's not cartoonish. It has a very unique style, but I don't know. For me, it's just perfection. I love this style.
Yeah.
So, but if you don't feel yourself drawn to it by watching walkthroughs, I don't think it would change if it shows up. And especially for you guys in the US, it costs a lot to get it. So maybe find some people around who has the deck, and you can go and take a look.
Yeah.
I mean, Judgment, having a party with all the skeletons and whatnot. And there's an angel playing the phone and stuff like that, having a party. So yeah, I love this one. Yes, absolutely. That was.
I'm trying to think. Is it that one?
Wait.
Isn't it? It's that one. I'll show you the other hand. Obviously, I've got to be 30 years young. Oh no, it's not that one. What am I thinking of? The Devil. That was the one I was doing.
Yeah. Oh, the Devil is a really good devil.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. The Death card. And I'm still.
That was my favorite one. You don't like that?
Yeah.
Why? It has the new start, the beginning inside of that itself. So there's always a promise for the next one. Not an actual ending, but a transformation. It's the new is inside of the old.
I get it. I totally get it. I always saw it as a mirror. That's the thing. So that it's.
I never saw that.
Yeah, I'm never gonna. It's one of the cards. It's like the strength card in like Sears. I don't like that one with the girl with that one and the lion face. Look at me doing the actions of all the tarot cards today.
I mean, men allowed to age if they age like Sean Connery. I think in Hollywood. If they age like Gerald Depardieu, for example, then they are not allowed to age. Just because someone said that.
I mean, that's nice. I'm just noting what people, Beth and Nancy, are talking about. That's why something like This Might Hurt Tarot is nice.
You don't have that.
Have so many different, representations of people on there. Which is
it's on my wish list.
It's on your wish list. Yeah.
I mean, shipping and whatnot always comes into play, and it's an indie deck, right? That is my hair.
Yeah.
So I can't just order from Book Depository and get it, but
you could when the time's right. I
mean, I will. I have a few other decks, so.
I know. I'm trying to be very, very good and not buy crystals or tarot decks at the moment. And then, of course, I stumbled across Kickstarter when I'd had
I avoid that.
I'd had a couple to drink. So before I know it, I'd added no.
I mean, I almost bagged. I almost bagged a mystery jigsaw puzzle that was like 20 hours left because it looks so cool. Because you get a picture on the outside the box, but when you put together the picture, it's slightly different and it tells a story. And I love jigsaw puzzles.
They get you the countdown. That's how they get you.
Exactly. I mean, but then I was like, I told Jax before our live that I was like strong and closed that tab and didn't back it. So. But I don't go to Kickstarter, and the Divine Masculine deck is coming soon, so I will have to pay not customs, but they just label it something else, but I will have to pay for that one.
The Divine Masculine
from Kickstarter isn't it the Divine Masculine? I can't remember the name, but wait, I should have the Hero as Masculine. Of course, it's something completely different. Masculine archetype.
Oh yeah. I saw that one.
For some reason, I keep forgetting the name.
I do that all the time. Don't worry.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for that, and then at some point I'm gonna learn the name once the deck is here. The new Dragon deck by Oak Ash and Thorn people, Stephanie.
Yes.
She's not here, so she can't hear that. I still don't know the name. I mean, it's Smoke, Amber, and Ash. There's Ash in it. But I'm so excited for that one and stuff like that. So, but because I have to pay. I have to get a deck every month. That's my new thing. I'm gonna pre-order. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna pre-order the Circus Tarot, which is going to come in November, because I really like the style. And I think the lady who did it is the same who did the Mermaid Tarot, and that's such a great deck.
Oh, really?
I have high hopes.
Yeah, I think you're right with that one. The only one I'm waiting for to come out is the Runic one, which is...
Oh, yeah, I already decided I want it.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave it because I've had so many decks that have got cancelled because I've ordered them and they've never had enough stock of it. And that just happened to me again. The I can't remember which one. You know, the vintage tarot. Yeah, it's cancelled my order.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, never meant to be. Never meant to be.
I had that with the tarot divine. No, no. Which one is that? Stories from all around the world. You know, Tarot of the Divine. I think that's
Tarot of the Divine. Yeah.
I pre-ordered it. I got a really good deal. I had coupons, all that, and then they canceled my order. So I was like, it wasn't meant to be. So
yeah, you just have to suck. And that kind of.
Oh, Neem is here. We miss Neem. He knows the name. Yes, I was talking about that. Okay, right. So your Dex is next. I only have one.
I'm a bit worried now, having gone through all of that. But we can't talk theatrical decks without getting a Marchetti out, can we? Let's be honest. So this one, it's Gilded Tarot Deluxe. I think
Scott should know because I think Scott is a big fan.
So,
ooh, wow!
Again, I know I'm trying to form sentences now. I have quite a few Marchetti decks, most of which have stuck in a box because I've never got on with it. And then when I went up to London earlier in the year,
yeah, I remember,
I bought this deck and I really wasn't intending to buy another Marchetti deck. Of many millions of decks this shop had, that Marchetti. But I did. And this deck kind of went with me to Glastonbury when I went. It went to Stonehenge. And I think I could, this is the one Marchetti deck I could live with. I could, if I get rid of the other ones.
I mean, if it was with you with the Stonehenge, you have to keep it.
True. It's going to have to be buried with me, isn't it?
Yeah. I like the ship.
It's a good one, isn't it? Yeah, this doesn't.
I mean, I don't like the decks. Sorry. For me, it's too.
The color palette on it is so bright, and I mean that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not. It's just not mine.
There's far too much going on in a Ciro Marchetti deck.
Yeah, it has that not 90s, but maybe 2000s video game feel.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But actually, it's called Ten of Swords because there we are. Look, that one; those aren't actually in at the moment, so they're just hovering over him. It feels like it's about to. Someone's going to say a spell, and they're going to go straight into him.
And I have to disagree because we can become vampires. That's my aim. So
that's your aim. So again, theatrical, but classic.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Yeah,
the lion is good.
I mean, he's a fantastic artist. That's not.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
not belittle him as much as I tend to do.
We're just making fun out of love. I hope it's obvious because we don't hate anyone. We love everyone and all love and light.
We do love every deck, and we're kind of just
peace and love, to quote Ringo Star. Peace and love.
While we're doing this, it's just kind of interesting to see what some people's reactions are to it. The decks that I pulled out and are showing are ones that I probably don't use that often because of the nature of this. I look at them and I go, well, in the right place at the right time, that's going to be great. It's just I've never actually found the right place and the right time.
It's kind of hard to decide if you read for other people, if they would appreciate that or if it would be something they can't handle.
That's actually really interesting because I don't think I would use any of these decks that I've shown as a reading for other people. I don't know why.
Interesting, yeah. I mean, some are provocative, so you can say that with
I wouldn't use anything like, a St. Jinx tarot or anything like that with some people.
Yeah, because sometimes, people have that idea. I don't know who said it but someone said it that, they expect that the Rider-Waite Smiths, the classical imagery. And if you pull out something like the Light Seers or not Mood Tarot, because that's, funny. But I don't know, even if the Darkwood Tarot, which is my last one, people might spend too much time on what is this? Why is that there, and not on the reading itself? So it's safer to go with something that they might have seen before. Because
Which
what if
is,
the
yeah.
deck has something that they really dislike or they disagree with, then you can't do the reading for them, I think.
I've just noticed what Beth said about Girzar and
I mean, I know that Scott loves them. I remember.
yeah. Again, and that's what we're saying, is that there's so many wonderful decks out there that appeal to so many people for so many different things, for what you believe in, what you are part of.
I mean,
yeah,
it's nice to have diversity, but I think Tarot Map put out a video recently about diversity in tarot. That was a tag or something like that, and I have to agree with the notion that the artist needs to paint what they, what's inside of them, and if diversity in a way is forced, I think that shows on the deck. So I don't think the solution would be that every deck has everything in it, but
no.
the best would be if every artist who represents something would have a chance to get their deck published, because then we can pick and choose. If someone wants, I don't know, I'm gonna say just elves. I'm not going to get into anything because I don't want to hurt anybody.
No.
But that if we so as a market we have to support those decks, then the big houses will be like, there's money in diversity, and then we're gonna publish.
It's a great conversation, and it's one of those conversations that we should always be having and thinking about. And I appreciate decks that have choices in cards to swap over.
Oh,
so where you might have different lovers or different cards. I think that's huge.
That's a good way to go.
It is a good way to go, because people can then, one of the decks I has got sort of 3 or 4 different lovers cards and 3 or 4 different world cards, and it's amazing to have that choice. And almost, not that I've done any really readings with other people, but to give, when they're doing a reading, to give people that choice as to what they feel attached to.
And just for people who read just for themselves as well, connect more with the deck. And my last one, the Darkwood Tarot, is not something that's very diverse in body or age or anything. It's full of beautiful people, but it's a vampire deck. So in a way, I expect this to be beautiful because vampires are known to be. But I don't know if you can see, but look at the 10 of Swords lying on the cliff with all those swords. You're like, oh, but my hair is still so nice.
As long as the hair looks good as you do it.
Yeah, and the sun going naked horseback riding. Like, are you sure you want to do that? Your ass is gonna hurt.
I love it. You think, for me, I'm terribly allergic to horses, so the idea of being naked on a horse would just
it's like torture.
It would not be
anything but sun.
It wouldn't be attractive in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. So you have all those noble-looking.
I do like this deck. I don't have it. It's one of those that's going to be on my list of things.
I mean, I was lucky because I won this deck on a giveaway at the Tarot Times with Simon and Elle was giving away her copy, so I got it from her. So it's units extra as a gift as well, and it was on my radar. I was like, it would be nice because I kind of like the style, but I decided that I'm not gonna buy it because there are other decks, and then I won it, so I was like, yay! So yeah, that was my last one. Do you have a deck?
I do. Have we got enough time? I'll go through it quickly.
I mean, we have a few minutes.
Okay. My last theatrical deck is the Wildwood.
Ooh.
Now, the Wildwood, same. I've lost the box to this one. It's around. Oh no, here it is. So it's the same people that did Druidcraft. I'm gonna hold it up. So it's.
I have this one.
And it's a very different kind of system. It does have keywords on most of the.
Yeah, no. I mean, I have it, and I want
Yeah,
to use it, but I wasn't thinking about it as a theatrical, even though there's the hugest
theatrical
butterfly.
by some of the poses. So as rest, well, has he just fallen there and the arrows have just happened to miss him? And it's like.
But and we were talking about that butterfly that I wouldn't be allowed. I wouldn't be able to sleep if a hugest butterfly would, sit above me.
And the
Yeah,
images on there are very. I mean, this is boredom.
yeah, I mean, she looks bored.
I mean, that's a bit like you said to somebody in an amateur production. Go and give me bored. Go and sit there bored like a bored person, and that's what they would do, isn't it?
Am I doing good?
And there's nothing wrong with that, obviously, but it's like, and I mean, the blasted oak for the tower. I mean, it doesn't get any more theatrical than that, really.
It's one of my favorite because
It's a lovely.
I really want to learn. I mean, this was my second deck. I got it almost 2 years ago, and I still haven't had the time to sit down and work through the system because it has its own system. So it's not like you can just pull it out and start using you, because then you're missing out.
Yes,
I don't want to do that.
I used it a couple of months ago for my monthly reading, and I didn't manage to do the whole month with it. But yeah, as long as you have to read the book that goes with it, which is it's not difficult. It's not a difficult read, and there's some really interesting bits that I take out and now use with general tarot. But you've got to give yourself the time to take that on board and realize, you've got to be, for somebody new to tarot, I wouldn't recommend it because the keywords on there are often way off from any other meanings that you might read of, or traditional meanings that you have. That's a bad thing.
Because it has its own system. So yeah, I mean, you have to be willing to sit down and work with it, which I want to. I want to be able to make notes and just play with it more. So I'm hoping this fall it's gonna come out, but I have so many decks. I have the Hush Tarot, which is new. I just filmed the walkthrough, and it was quite interesting because I realized halfway through the deck that oh wait, it's not an old artist, it's a new one, because I was kind of like, it's an old one and they use their artwork, so that's why it looks like. And then I was like, what is this? Like, what? Let's check. Oh no, it's new. It's someone who's still living. So I was like, oops. But I'm like, that's a first impression for you if you don't read the guidebook, and I don't do that. So, but bats are so cool. I mean, I had a few very special dreams with bats. So I bought where is it? I bought a really special, really cute, teeny tiny oracle, the night vision. And you're not going to be able to see it, but it has tiny, cute. It's companion with two tiny
bats. Oh, yes.
And there's one with spontaneity, and there's the bat as an ice cream. I have a walkthrough if anybody wants to actually see the cards, because right now it's just a blur. But yeah, look at that. We're so good with time as well.
It's so good. We got through the lot. But there's many more we could have used. And I've noticed people in chat have picked out some favourites. The Venetian Tarot, which I don't have yet. But
I don't even know which one.
That's pretty theatrical. And the Deviant Moon, of course, is...
I wasn't thinking about it, because the Deviant Moon, for me, it's more a steampunk deck. And Robin had a live today with Gerald, going through the decks. Now, it's so interesting. I commented it on his walkthrough as well, that all the things that he lists as a negative, like it has that industrial feel, like a steampunk deck. And for me, that was like, yes, that's why I want the deck. So I love hearing how different things can be appealing, or just like, for, different people.
Yeah. The jury is still out with me on the Deviant Moon.
Interesting. Usually people, either dislike it or start using it and like it.
I like the new one, the blue one that's come out. I can't remember, with the reverse colours on there.
I really don't like paradoxical.
Yeah, I think so.
I really don't like those. I mean, I look at them all and people, talk about how much different it is, and I'm like, yeah, different, but I'm like, I'm so glad I don't want those decks, because I mean, come on, let's be realistic with our money. But we're not telling you.
Oh, what's that? What?
I don't know, I
What?
missed something.
What's Chris not got to tell me?
Let's investigate before we go.
Yeah.
Let me know if you can see it, because I think someone
kind of theatrical in it. I'm just going to go back. Let's have a look.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. That's it, Chris. You're screwed for the month. Now you might as well go and smash your mirrors, really.
No, sorry. Okay, but yeah, let's finish up, because Gerard can't have us. I mean, can't have a life without us. I mean, that would be.
Well, we've got to go
boring,
in
right?
mayhem now, haven't we?
So yeah, thank you so much, everyone who joined. I hope we made it obvious that we were not bashing any decks.
Yeah.
We were just, having some fun, lighthearted fun with the tarot, which you can have. Actually, you don't have to always take everything so seriously, especially if you're not reading, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I think I will have Richard on soon, because why not? I will pick a topic.
Well, absolutely. And then you need to come over to Longman Tarot.
Absolutely, anytime.
We can talk about all sorts of interesting things.
Exactly.
Or just come on for general chat. We don't have to have
I think we can do that. I think once we start talking, we will talk.
Perhaps we could do some readings together.
Good. And I'm just gonna check my calendar if there's anything. Not that much for me, so no live reading for this week, but a lot of videos coming out, because it's the end of the month. So okay, I'm gonna say goodbye, and let's join Gerald soon. So thank you so much, and thank you, Ritchie, again.
Thank you. Bye.
And awkward ending. 1, 2, 3.